Thank you for being with us. Our top story tonight, the Vatican says Pope Francis is making a strong recovery following his 3-hour surgery last week. However, as a precaution, doctors asked the Holy Father not to deliver his Sunday address to pilgrims. The medical personnel were concerned that it would be too much of a strain on Pope Francis to deliver his Sunday remarks from the hospital balcony. Overall, he is eating regularly, continues to do his work, and earlier today even took Holy Communion. Joining us now from Rome is Andreas Thonhauser, EWTN Vatican Bureau Chief. Andreas, great to be with you today. Can you tell us a little bit more about how Pope Francis is doing? How's his recovery going?
Sure, Tracy. So Pope Francis is recovering well. Over the weekend, the Vatican issued several communiques assuring the public that the operation that he had to undergo last Wednesday and the recovery, both of them are going quite well. Moreover, the Holy Father is coping also well with the effects of the surgery and the full anesthesia he underwent. This was the big concern last week, because 2 years ago, when he had a surgery also at the same hospital at Gemelli, he said that he had suffered after the full anesthesia. Vatican spokesperson Matteo Bruni confirmed also earlier today that Pope Francis is doing well, he's been working, and he has received phone calls. And one phone call he made himself last week was the one to the mother of the child he baptized during his last stay at Gemelli Clinic in March of this year. The mother wanted to come visit Pope Francis, but because of his health status, she was not allowed access to the Holy Father. As soon as he was able, he called her personally.
And Andreas, how are things at the Vatican without Pope Francis? And when is he expected to be released from the hospital? Do we know?
Well, with the Pope in the hospital, many things are on hold here at the Vatican. On Saturday, there was a big event taking place in St. Peter's Square with the participation of 30 Nobel Peace Prize winners. And it was so-called Not Alone. It focused on the theme of Francis's encyclical Fratelli Tutti, namely human fraternity. However, without Pope Francis being there, the square felt quite alone. I felt a bit sorry for the organizers of this big event. Many did not show up in the end, and that the space was quite empty. But this is the reality for many things here in the Vatican. When the Holy Father is absent from events, he was expected to honor with his presence. That is why everyone is asking now when he will return to the Vatican. And so far, we have not heard of any other news regarding the 18th of June, and that is the date until which all appointments were cancelled. But it could be longer than that at this point. An important message came from Matteo Bruni again last week when he confirmed that all scheduled apostolic trips are still supposed to take place with the Holy Father present. The World Youth Day in Lisbon will start on the 1st of August and has just opened its accreditations for the papal plane. Many journalists are interested in participating. The same is also true of Mongolia, where the Pope is supposed to fly to at the end of August. It's speculated that before the end of the year, Pope Francis might also create new cardinals, given the age structure of the college. A possible date for that would be before Christmas, but the more traditional one is now during the summer, at the end of June, where, for example, the Feast of the Holy Apostles Peter and Paul could be a good date for that. And you may remember that last year he created new cardinals at the end of the summer.
And Andreas, quickly, before I let you go, as you know, yesterday was a celebration of the Solemnity of Corpus Christi. With the Holy Father gone, was there still a procession with the Eucharist?
Well, yes and no. No, because there was no official procession in or from St. Peter's Basilica, but there was a beautiful procession from the German Campo Santo Teutonico within the Vatican walls, through the gardens up to the Lourdes Grotto. The Swiss Guard carried the baldachin, the canopy, and escorted the Blessed Sacrament with the rector of the Campo Santo and the Curial Bishop Joseph Clemens. We participated there as a family, and it was a very touching moment to pray with other faithful in front of the Blessed Sacrament at spots where usually only popes would pray.
Andreas, thank you so much for that report today. We appreciate it. Andreas Thonhauser, EWTN Vatican Bureau Chief. Thank you again.